is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Ramsey personality George Camel is my co-host today as we take your questions about your relationships, your work, your money, and how these things all are intertwined. It's called The Ramsey Show, and life happens here all the time. Starting this segment off, one of our good friends over in San Francisco, Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. Hey, Mike, what's up, man?
Well, Dave, I'm living the dream.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
So you're getting ready to launch a whole new set of Dirty Jobs. I saw the Discovery's picked it up. It's going big again, huh?
Well, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. After 10 years, we've got a new season coming out. And, yeah, it's hard to believe, man. A decade ago, I swore I was done. You know, we shot 300 of these things and filmed in every state. But the lockdowns, the talk of essential workers, a lot of people wrote in to say, you know, it'd be fun to see what work looks like again out there in the real world through the eyes of an apprentice. How could I say no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is kind of a psychological disaster that we declared people not essential.
Oh,
it's a little bit humorous, too, when it indicates how stupid the government is. But
well, humorous in the way you laugh, you know, when you fall down the stairs, right? I mean, it's just...
yeah. Exactly.
It's
like when you back your car into a dumpster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, something else. Well, we wanted to tell folks that the series is back out. It's on Discovery, right?
It is. It'll be right where I left it, actually. Sunday, I think, January 2nd, 8 o'clock, and then they got their Discovery Plus thing. And it'll be over there, too. But, yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. The trailer looks... as always, interesting. Good trailer.
Any teases, Mike, that you can give us? Was there one that you're like, I'll never do that again? You can't pay me enough money.
You know, I mean, looking back, I'd say probably half of the 300 we did, I sort of checked in terms of not like a bucket list, but just like, okay,
I'm good.
I'm glad I did it. I won't be doing it again. This season's not much different. You know, remember, I'm not the expert on the show. I'm not even the host, really. I'm more like a guest. And the goal really hasn't changed. It's an attempt to give folks an honest look at a day's work through the eyes of an apprentice. So when you don't really know what you're doing and you show up cold, you make a lot of mistakes, but it's in those mistakes that people can see just how challenging, how important, and how difficult the work can be when you see somebody who knows what they're doing getting the job done next to me.
Wow. Hey, thanks for appearing on the Borrowed Future documentary. It has been a big hit. We've had over 150,000 folks view it on Google Play and Apple TV and Prime Video, Amazon Prime, and I think we really stirred up a ruckus together, and we appreciate you participating in that.
Hey, look, like I told you the first time we spoke, Dave, the only four-letter word that was really off limits in my house growing up was debt. And when I see what's happened to so many people today, kids and grown-ups, what is it now, $1.7 trillion in student loans on the books. And now we've got, looks like close to 11 million open positions that don't require a four-year degree. It's just mind-boggling that we're telling the same generation again and again that the best path for the most people is the most expensive path. And we need more content like the stuff you guys are churning out. And I was privileged to be a part of it. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate it. Folks, be sure you tune in. Sharon and I have got a whole list of things we're going to try to watch through the holidays. Y'all are probably like that, too. And you can just put Borrowed Future on there if you want to learn the truth about the whole student loan debacle, and George, you were square in the middle of that as well.
Oh, yeah, when we did the podcast, which was the precursor to this, and Mike was nice enough to let us use a clip, and he shares this incredible story back when he was in school and what those teachers told him. And your clips, Mike, are some of my favorites in there because you just go, oh, finally, someone with a head on their shoulders who's saying the truth. And so it's just so refreshing to hear voices like yours speak to those young people and say, there's a different path. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to end with $200,000 in student loan debt.
And then I open my email and I find out that my two worlds have collided. My buddy John Rich, my buddy Mike Rowe get together and do a song, which little known fact about you, you're a big time singer. I mean, like Broadway.
Professionally trained.
Yeah, opera singer before you were doing Dirty Jobs. And so you and John hook up and did a song which has become the #1 song in the U.S. And I'm not exaggerating. You bumped Christina Aguilera or whatever off the chart, right? Off the top slot with this song. And I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun, but the fact that it's #1 is a little ridiculous.
It's preposterous, Dave. And look, it's just one of those life lessons. You know, you can sit down with your idea and your hopes and your dreams, and you can work on whether it's a book or a TV show, and maybe people like it. They probably won't, right? And then one day you walk into a bathroom with a knucklehead and a cowboy hat, and you write, Santa Claus got a dirty job. And you record it, and the Oak Ridge Boys come in, and the next thing you know, you're at the top of the charts. So, you know, you can plan all you want, but so much of the good stuff that's happened to me in life has happened because I throw a lot of mud against the wall, and I'm never quite sure what's going to stick. But this crazy song, you know, John's given his half of the money to Folds of Honor, which is a great charity that he's been supporting for years, and I'm giving my half to MicroWorks, which goes right to the student debt crisis. And so I think between the time of the year, the fact that it was all for charity, and the fact that a guy in a baseball cap and a cowboy hat wrote the song in a bathroom, basically on a dare. I mean, how do you say no to that?
Yeah. Well, apparently people aren't because they're lining up for it. So I had dinner with my wife, and I had dinner with John and his wife the other night, and we were laughing all the way through dinner that this thing. I mean, John has written probably, 1,000 songs or something. And he's had quite a few #1s, and a lot of people don't even realize he's as prolific a writer as he is because he's an artist, but from Big and Rich fame and so forth. But and then pulling the Oak Ridge Boys in, that was genius.
Well, the thing is, you know, first and foremost, John's a patriot.
Yeah.
And, you know, I realized that he was interviewing me for his show on Fox Business when we started singing songs to each other. That's what started this whole thing. And, you know, I've always been a big proponent that way leads on to way. And, you know, you got to play the cards that you get. And John just happened to have the Oak Ridge Boys in his Rolodex. And, you know, it's funny, too, Dave. The first time I met you, I think I spoke at one of your things, and Larry Gatlin was in the audience.
Yeah.
And he and I have stayed in touch. So worlds collide, man. Like you say, you really never know.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you hanging out. Crank this thing up as a bump music out of this break. And check out Mike Rowe. Dirty Jobs comes out January 2nd.
Sneaking in, sneaking out for 24 hours straight. Gotta outrun them big guard dogs. Gotta do whatever it takes. Don't you know that Santa Claus got a dirty job? Dirty job. Santa Claus got a dirty job. Dirty job. Santa Claus got a dirty job. And he does it.
If you're not using Pure Talk for your wireless, you're paying too much. Pure Talk gives you the same great 5G coverage on the same 5G network as one of the big guys for half the cost. The average family saves over $800 a year. Go to puretalk.com and choose the affordable plan that's right for you. With their 30-day risk-free guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our thanks to Mike Rowe for coming on, hanging out with us for a little bit. He's a busy dude, and we appreciate him participating in the Borrowed Future documentary. Again, put the Borrowed Future documentary on your list of things to watch through the holidays. It is the full rundown on truly how student loans are killing the American dream.
Yeah, and if you want to skip a Hallmark movie, this is the one to watch right here. 88 minutes, and it'll help you avoid some awkward holiday conversations with the family. And instead, this documentary will spark conversation. I will say that. It is stirring up a holy ruckus, and I love what we're hearing in just the feedback of saying, wow, this has given me a way to talk to my kids in a way that I could never have on my own. So I love what this might do for the future of America.
Well, it's waking parents up to not allow and not participate in their kids falling for this ridiculous, epic failure called the student loan system. It is abusive. It's out of control. It's in bad shape, and it's leaving people in a mess.
Yeah, and February 1st, student loans are getting turned back on. I think it's going to rile up people once again to get angry about this whole situation, get angry at their debt. Hopefully we see a lot of people get aggressive and pay it off, but I'm hoping this documentary gets another spark as we head into that season of people going, oh my gosh, Sally Mae's back.
Well, Merry Christmas, America. We're glad you're with us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Tasha's in Pennsylvania. Hey, Tasha, what's up?
Hi, Dave. I need help.
We'll try. How can we help?
So here's the situation. I recently bought a primary residence. I have a rental property that I've owned since 2013. It used to be my primary. But this new home that I bought is turning out to be a bit of a money pit, and I need cash to help do renovations on it. I'm hesitant to sell my rental, but I know that if I do, I could be debt-free. But I'm not sure if that's the right choice because I do make money on it. I also have $47,000 in student loans. So I've got debt, I've got equity, and I'm just kind of frozen, and I don't know what to do.
Well, if you can sell the rental and have the cash to finish the money pit and not be a money pit anymore and have the cash to knock out your student loans, then I'm selling it. The question I've got is, are you going down a rabbit hole with this money pit thing and you need to sell it?
It's something I've thought about, but in its current state, I would be losing tens of thousands of dollars. So I don't know.
Wait a minute, you tore it up after you bought it?
So I bought it knowing it was a fixer-upper, thinking it was going to be cosmetic. But once I started taking some things down, I discovered some serious structural issues. So there's no equity in the house, and to sell it as it stands, I probably won't even recoup, what little I've done. So,
What'd you pay for it?
I paid $96,000.
What would it sell for today as is?
I mean, I think 50, 60 tops.
Okay.
So I would be losing upwards of 30 to 40,000 right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I think either way
needs about $50K in work too.
And then at that point, what would it be worth if you put all this money into it? Are you going to recoup it
I would,
anyways?
I would have no equity, but I think I would break even. If I put in 50, I think it would be worth around 130, 140. So I'd probably break even, no equity, and I'd have a nice home to live in.
And you'd be happy with the home at that point?
I would, yeah. It's just a matter of funding those repairs, and I'm hesitant to sell the rental. I could do a cash-out refi and have money to do it. I know that's probably not Dave's choice, but
well, you've got all this. You've got a pile of debt too, sitting there with the student loan. So I like the idea of paying off of selling the rental. Could you pay off your student loans and have a pile of cash if you sold the rental?
So my rental I bought in 2013 for $150. I only owe $104, and in this market, it's probably worth $350. I could be debt free. I could pay off the mortgage on the new house with it. I could be totally debt-free if I sold it.
And I like the sound of your voice even saying that. Sounds like this anxiety is not worth the money coming in from the rental. You could clean up the student loan debt, have a pile of money, and have some money to fix your primary residence. That sounds like that's what I would do if I was in your shoes.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like this is just not a fun time for you right now, as is.
It's not. And on the rental, I net about $700 a month. So I feel like it's decent, but it could also solve all my problems if I got rid of it.
Yeah. I think that's the answer. That last sentence, that's what sums it up, right? And, basically this bad decision has forced you into a corner on which next decision you make, and you don't want it to be a bad decision. So, if you don't want to lose $30,000 selling the house as is and move on with your life and keep the rental, then I would sell the rental and I'd finish fixing this place up. I'm a little bit afraid that it's more than $50K for you to fix it up, but you're going to have more than $50K, so that's okay. Here's what's interesting. When you're doing the fix-up with cash from the rental that you kind of are pissed about having to sell it, you're going to be super careful with the renovation, and you're not going to go overboard because you're using like real money that came from a source that you didn't really want to have to do. And so it's going to kind of make you very, very wise in your renovation process, and you'll be a lot calmer in your renovation process too, because you're not doing it all with borrowed money. The chances of you do a cash out refi, and then let's just add to this equation a bunch of debt. Let's add to this mess a big pile of debt. No, that would just be, you're just compounding the stupid then. And no, I wouldn't do that. But yes, I'd sell your rental here, and let's get this mess cleaned up, get the mortgage paid off, get the rental fixed, or get the house fixed up, and get the student loan paid off, and you got a lot of peace in your life at that point. Kate's with us in Ontario. Hi, Kate. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm great. Thank you so much for taking my call today.
Sure. What's up?
Well, my very dear grandmother has recently passed away, and I found out I'm going to be inheriting between 150 and 200,000 Canadian dollars. And my husband and I are recently debt-free in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm just looking to see how we should proceed with this really wonderful gift from her.
So are you guys in baby step 3 now? Are you saving up for that fully funded emergency fund?
Yes, we are.
Well, that's
we
instant.
have $2,000 in savings.
Okay. Well, we can check that box off. And once you've got that 3 to 6 months, you guys will start investing, and that can just come out of your income. That doesn't have to be part of this inheritance. And we're moving on. Do you guys have kids?
No, we don't. That's not in the cards for us.
And you have a primary residence with a mortgage on it?
Yes. We have about $168,000 left on our mortgage.
This sounds like you could be in baby step 7 instantly. Fully funded, emergency fund, and a paid-for house, thanks to Grandma.
Wow. Yes, that's a huge gift from her. In Canada, we have different investing options. Should I be considering putting $25,000 of this in a tax-sheltered investment account? I can do that, and it would reduce my taxable income for the upcoming tax year.
Only if that doesn't mean you can't pay off your house. If you can't pay off your house by doing that, then no, you need to pay off the house.
Okay, so the priorities are fully fund the emergency fund, the remaining
and pay off the house.
In there,
and pay off
the house.
Yeah, if there's money left after that, then we can get to tinkering, because you're at baby step 7. Then we'll get to tinkering with your investment options and your retirement options and all that kind of stuff. But no, let's get that house done, girl. And you got to know that Grandma's smiling. I mean, she's in heaven looking at this going, they just paid off their house. That's pretty cool. And by the way, you're on a budget, and you're taking what used to be a house payment, and you're investing it, and you'll be a baby steps millionaire in no time.
If you're ready to get out there and find a job you love, then you need to hear this. Job hunting can be stressful and time-consuming, but my friends at ZipRecruiter have made the whole job search way easier. ZipRecruiter is rated the #1 job site in the U.S. by G2, and it's free. So how does it work? First, go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Then create a free profile and let their technology do the hard work by finding and sending you jobs that are a great fit. And get this, ZipRecruiter pitches your profile to companies whose jobs match your skills and experience. If someone from that company likes your profile, they can personally invite you to apply for the job. So if you're ready for an easier job search, check out ZipRecruiter. Sign up for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Sign up today, absolutely free, and let ZipRecruiter work for you.
George Camel Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jamie and Kara are with us in Portland, Oregon. Says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done, well done. How much have you paid off?
Just under $250,000.
Wow. How long did that take?
5 years.
5 years. And your range of income during that time?
We actually started at around 50, and this year we're expecting to come in at 150.
Oh, good. What do y'all do for a living?
Well, I had a change in careers at the moment. I'm doing several things, anywhere from data analysis and information security to keeping bees on top of rooftops.
That works for me. Good. So what about you, Kara?
Oh, I actually changed careers as well. I started out in higher education, and now I'm a financial analyst for a technology company.
Oh, good. Cool.
Wow.
So what kind of debt was the $250,000?
It was everything. We had about $5,800 in like personal family loans, $35,000 in small business, which are actually also personal loans. I had about $32,000 in student loans, and you?
Yeah, about $90,000 by the time Sally Mae was kicked out of the bedroom.
Okay.
What else do we have?
And then we had $90,000 was actually a small mortgage we also had.
Yeah.
On your current residence, or?
No, past residence, manufactured home, actually.
Oh, had to clean up a mess back there. So you still have your mortgage?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're debt-free, everything with the mortgage. Way to go.
Yeah. We're going to, we actually just moved to Portland, Oregon from Arizona. It was one of our dreams that we wanted to move up here, but as you say a lot, you don't get a pass on math in higher cost of living areas, so we knew we had to get rid of our debt in order to make this move and to, accomplish a lot of our goals. So that's what we did.
Wow. That's awesome. We're so proud of you guys. So take us back 5 years ago. What happened where you went, all right, we got $250,000 in debt sitting here. We got to clean this up.
Well, that's a pretty good story there. I'll try to keep it short. We had a couple kids. We had one on the way at the very beginning of this, and I wasn't too sure of how we were going to move forward and provide some security for the one on the way. Started out by just looking into life insurance. And I was driving on the road and visiting various businesses for something I was doing at the time and listening to a lot of Dave Ramsey. So that's how the conversation actually started was, hey, we got a kid on the way. Well, how about insurance? And one thing led to another, and we took it from there.
Wow. Not every day you hear a story start with, well, I was looking for insurance, and here we are, debt-free. That's incredible. So what was the journey like for you guys? I mean, you're throwing $50K a year at this thing. What were the sacrifices you made along the way?
Not eating out, I guess, was one of them. Just kind of making the decision to evaluate, do we actually need this thing now, or can it wait? We were running a farm at the time. That was one of my business, and so although it was flexible, it was taking on some debt. So we decided no more debt as far as taking on business debt. We're going to cash flow everything and start hacking away at the debt that we did have for the business.
You stopped the bleeding and cut some expenses and just buckled down for 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Immediately.
Yep.
Way to go, guys. Proud of you guys. How's it feel now that you're free?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a lot. We wouldn't have been able to make the move up here, actually. There's so much to do up here that it would have just been a disaster because, especially, a lot of people here complain about the rain and the cold, but you have a different outlook and perspective on wherever you're at if you don't have, a big ball and chain of debt.
It's always sunny when you're debt-free.
Right.
There you go. I love it.
Way to go, you guys. Well, we're very, very proud of you. Congratulations. We're going to send you a copy of the new book, Baby Steps Millionaires. Want that to be the next chapter in your story, how ordinary people built extraordinary wealth, how you can too. It comes out January the 11th, but we're going to go ahead and send you your advance copy now, and also a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody and get them started on their journey as well, okay?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Merry Christmas, you guys. We appreciate you calling in. Very, very cool. Jamie and Kara, Portland, Oregon. $250,000 paid off over 5 years. Quite a journey. Changed their whole life, their location, and everything, making 50 to 150. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Well done, boys and girls. I love it. Excellent, excellent job. Jacob is with us in Chattanooga. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and George. Can you hear me all right?
Absolutely. How can we help?
Thank you, and look forward to being with you on January 13th in Nashville as well.
Cool. I'm glad you're coming.
Yeah, thank you. Real estate question. I'm wondering what would be the best way to get a property, a house, into my daughter's name that we own.
Is there a mortgage on it?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Are you going to pay that off?
Well, eventually it will be paid off. It's on a 14-year fixed at the moment, about a little over 3% interest.
Yeah, who's the loan with?
Investment property. It is with TVFCU.
Credit Union?
Federal Credit Union.
Okay.
Yes, Credit Union.
All right, here's the thing. If they used a boilerplate standard deed of trust, which they probably did in Tennessee, it has a due on sale provision in it. It's usually paragraph 17. Oddly enough, I'm such a nerd, I know that. So look at paragraph 17 on your deed, and you'll see it's standard Fannie Mae boilerplate. Okay, but either way, almost all deeds today, almost all mortgages today state that if the property is transferred, the loan is called due in full instantly. And so you cannot transfer the property title to her unless you make arrangements on this mortgage. Well, if you took her down to the credit union, would they qualify her for the mortgage?
No, that was the original problem.
Okay. Why?
We raised our kids to be, financial peace babies, and so she's 22 years old. She owns her own business, has pretty good savings, and but at 22 and recently having bought this house and moved out of our house, she never had any credit established, nor did she have any trade lines established.
How long has she been in the house?
She was able to qualify. We closed in September. She moved right in. So
okay, so she's not been in there long enough to establish trade lines now. And her job is self-employed, and so she's going to have 2 years of tax returns that show enough income to qualify.
Yes.
And she doesn't show enough income to qualify. You can't put the house in her name.
Okay.
Unless you pay it off.
I see. Yeah, and that was the other dilemma. We had been on baby step 7, but we have, we're Ramsey Millionaires now, but most of it's in retirement accounts. So
how old are you?
With that, I'm 49.
Okay. How much is owed on this house?
About $165.
Yeah. I'd sell it and put her in a rental. Let her go rent something. Let her start her life. No reason for her to be saddled with $165,000 debt at 22 years old. I'd move on, dude. Well, we all know the story of the tortoise and the hare, and we all know who wins in the end. But we often gloss over the downfall of the hare. He didn't lose because he was slower. He lost because he took a nap. He took his eye off the prize. He quit being goal-oriented. And if you're starting to lose steam, this is your wake-up call. We want 2022 to be your best wealth-building year ever. For just a few more days, we've got all kinds of life-changing books and tools in our famous $10 sale. These $10 books could be your best, biggest investment. Get books like the #1 bestseller, The Total Money Makeover. 8 million people have read that. Dr. John Deloney's quick read, Redefining Anxiety, also $10. Rachel Cruz's New York Times bestseller from just a little bit earlier in the year, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, also just $10. There's something for everyone. Make 2022 your best wealth-building year yet. Shop the $10 sale before it ends at RamseySolutions.com. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jackson is with us in Atlanta. Hi, Jackson. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for taking my call. I'm 18 years old, and I'm part owner of a family business, and we're taking on some part-time employees. We're also growing quite a bit, and we're looking into getting some heavy machinery that's going to help us with the process, we think. And I was wondering if you could help me know what's the best decision here to do.
I'm sorry, I don't know what your best decision on what.
Is this a financial question, or is this more about the business in general?
Yeah, so basically we want to know whether we should buy this machinery. It's CNC machine, and it would make the process, it would make it a lot easier, and it would cut down on the man hours quite a bit. But it also costs a lot of money. Like, we're looking $5,000 or $6,000. And last year we netted about $100,000, I think it was. And so, yeah, we're just wondering, is this really cost effective?
Well, I would look at it in terms of, first of all, obviously you're going to pay cash for this, right?
Yes.
We're not going to go into debt. And second of all, if you look at, what are you going to recoup by getting this machine? Is this machine going to make you $6,000 in the first few months?
No, probably not. Probably it would be more long term. But
This
it
would
would
be a
help
year or
us with,
two
like,
out?
product development.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, in business, we don't buy anything for fun. In business, we buy things that give us more money than they cost back. A return on investment is what we're always looking for. So if the machine, you spend $5,000 on it, will make you back more than $5,000 in a reasonable period of time in your mind, then that's an investment in the business and you're paying cash for it. And yes, I would do that. If it's just like a boy's excuse to get some toys, which sometimes boys use their business as an excuse to get some toys, I might be guilty of having done that in the past. The budget's real tight at home, but we had to have this one for business, baby. So, if it's stuff like that, then no, we don't do that. We're always looking for, in business, you should never have expenses. You should just have investments. So everything that you're putting out, you're doing to cause your business to grow. And that's an investment. Sometimes it saves expenses or saves costs. It's a cost savings mechanism. It sounds like this will save some labor. Maybe you want it to hire as many people. So if we spend $6,000 here, it keeps us from having, or $5,000 here, it keeps us from spending $10,000 on labor. Then that's a good investment. And that's the way you'd look at that piece of machinery.
Yeah, you don't want this just to be a wet finger in the air saying, I think this is going to be a good idea. Do the math on paper and go, hey, this is going to save us this much per hour that we would have paid an employee, and we can create this much more product and woodworking products because of this. Make it a very logical, factual thing.
I'm forever telling our EntreLeadership audience, don't rationalize the purchase of stuff by using your business and quote calling it a business expense or calling it a tax write-off. And the world's worst is I grew up in the real estate and construction business, and you got a guy making nothing, and he drives up on the construction site in a freaking $60,000 pickup truck because he saw a Silverado running through a mud puddle on a Chevy commercial and felt like he had to have one. And that's just dumber than a rock. Because as soon as you park that $60,000 pickup on a construction site, some moron in a Bobcat's going to back into it and leave a nice dent in the side of it. And he works for you, by the way. So, this is how life works. So, you know who the richest guy on the construction site is the guy with the cheapest, most beat-up pickup. That's the richest guy on the construction site because he don't care what you think. And he's there to make money. And he's there to run a business. And that's the one that, man, I'll never pull. I pulled up a guy, drove up, and I swear to God, I don't know how this truck was actually held together. It looked like a baling wire and duct tape, patching the thing together. It was probably $100 pickup.
Wow.
And I'm talking to the old boy, and he's like, he's laying bricks over here, and I'm talking to him. And then the more I talked to him, I realized all the entire crew there laying bricks, and there was about 30 of them. It was a big job, worked for him. He owned the company, the bricklaying company, and had the worst truck on the site.
And they're all driving nicer cars than him.
Yeah, and with payments.
Yeah.
So that's the thing you want to avoid, is that kind of mentality when you're in business, construction or otherwise. Any business, you can pick on any business if you want to. I can talk to you about lawyers that are stupid in their business and doctors that are stupid in their business. You don't have to be a bricklayer to be stupid. There's lots of stupid out there to go around, and I've done plenty of it myself. So you just have to really dial back in and go, okay, well, you want to buy flowers for the whole office? Well, that's great, and that'd be nice, and they'd smell good and they'd look good. So are we going to have a boost in morale equal to the cost of these floral arrangements, or is this an expense we can just survive? Well, what's the point in that?
Yeah, and a lot of people do it on credit cards, and they go, "Well, I'm a business owner. I get great points. I get great rewards. I never pay for flights." That's asinine.
James is with us in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, James. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Well, I'm 62 and a half. I'm raising two boys. They're 11 and 15, 5th grade, 9th grade. I'm going to be officially retired at the end of the month. I owe about $19K on my house, and I really haven't done much for their college. I've only had them about 5 years. And I just got enough cash flow in the last year and a half to where I could start putting some money away.
Did you say 62 or 52?
62.
6'2".
Right.
Okay. All right.
So I'm wondering, I've got some investments, and I'm wondering if I ought to just take some money out of there and pay that house off.
Yes.
And then I was thinking if I did that, I could just start hitting that the college plan thing with the state farm.
Yes and no. Okay, so yes, I'm going to take the money out of the investments to pay off the house, but no, we're not doing a college plan with State Farm. You don't do any investing with State Farm.
The state.
Oh no, you don't do this. You don't do prepaid college. No, we don't do prepaid college. You need to do it. You can do a 529 where you can invest the money in a good growth stock mutual fund and get in touch with one of our SmartVestor pros to help you that, and then also gear up your retirement.
Yeah, and this is a good question, Dave, that we get a lot on the show. People saying, should I cash out my investments? And there's a pretty easy filter. If it's retirement, do not touch it.
Well, it is. If you're over 62, there's no penalty.
Yeah, so he can take the money out regardless.
Yes.
Hopefully he's set for retirement.
Even if he's not. It's $19,000. Get it done.
Won't set him back too much.
If all you got's $19,000, you got other problems.
That's true.
So, and we got some other stuff to catch up on. So, yeah, just take the money out of the retirement. We wouldn't do that if he was prior to 59.5 because he'd have a penalty. But right now, if it's a big mortgage, we start talking about how much of this.
It's $150,000.
How much we're cashing out? Yeah, but but if it's 19, just pay it off.
Yeah.
And then let's completely focus on retirement savings and college savings. Retirement savings and college savings. Sit down with your SmartVestor Pro. Click SmartVestor at RamseySolutions.com. Get that started, and here we'll go. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Thank you to George Camel, to James Childs, Kelly Daniel in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we'll be back. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones as we talk to you about your life, your work, your relationships, and your money. It's a free call, 888-825-5225. Kevin is with us in Indianapolis. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, sir. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
You too. What's up?
I wanted to ask what your thoughts are and maybe pros and cons of, in order to kind of expedite step number 2, allowing my credit card debt to go into collections to hopefully settle for a far lesser number.
I would not do that unless you simply have not got a way to pay the bill. How much credit card debt have you got?
It's not astronomical. It's about $14,000. It is something I can feasibly pay off. It's just in order to do it comfortably and still be able to put some money in savings, it's just gonna take a lot longer than I would like, to be honest.
So we work with folks that are on the verge of bankruptcy all the time, and they have no money and $100,000 in credit card debt, and there's no chance that they're going to pay the bill that they legitimately owe. If it goes into default, then we show them how to settle that debt because it's their only option. We do not do that as a method of getting out of debt more efficiently because we believe that you owe the money. You borrowed the money and you have the ability to pay the money, and you should pay your bill if there's any way you can, and that's your case. So, no, you should get 6 extra jobs and pay this crap off by Friday. It's only $14,000.
How much do you make?
About 60.
Yeah, and you're only working 40 hours.
Well, I'm only getting paid for 40 hours. I would gladly take an extra job. My work schedule is a little cramped to allow for an extra job. But like I said, I mean, it is an amount that I can pay off. It's just going to
and you should
prevent me from.
And you should. You should sell some stuff. You should find some work that you can do. You can turn Uber on and off. You can get really flexible schedules delivering pizzas. You can talk to your boss about getting paid for the overtime instead of not getting paid for the overtime that you're working on. You can have a garage sale. You got days off. You got time. You're sitting in front of the stupid television. Go make some money. It's only $14,000 and pay it back. Don't sacrifice your integrity for that.
And I kind of want you to be in pain, Kevin, just a little bit. I want you to feel the sacrifice, because if not, if this feels like a shortcut and you go, man, I negotiated it down, got that paid off, let's do that again. And you're back on the ride and you're back in a cycle of debt. I want you to have a never again moment. And that's going to come from taking the second job, selling everything, going, man, never again am I going to be in that spot.
Tighten up the old budget, the belt. Big time. Big time. That's simple. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Cody's in Cleveland, Ohio. Hi, Cody. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So I'm a new listener. I just found you guys today. Basically, just as I'm 26, I've pretty much lived paycheck to paycheck my whole life. Looking at hearing you guys' channel so far this morning, it's given me some kind of ideas to finally get me out of this. This is the first time I've actually seen like a way out.
Good.
So I've got a total of $42,000 in debt right now. That's just me. I have a fiance, but hers is only $2,000 in credit cards. I can take care of that. That's not something I'm really worried about. So I have. The only real cost I have is credit cards and auto loans. So my question is, this morning I got the idea of checking the value on I have a Jeep Compass I've been paying on for a long time. The payment was $600 a month for a while because I brought over negative equity. I got that drawn out longer to lower the payment so I could pay more off. That vehicle had issues. It's been fixed since, but I had to get another vehicle when I did that. So I have two vehicles on loan. So my thought process was I'm only about $2,000 off from what the dealer will give me for the vehicle and paying it off totally. So I'm on unemployment. This is the first time I've been unemployed in my life. So I'm going to start door dashing right now until I find something else to be more steady in income. She makes about $20,000 a year right now, $1,700 a month. She works as a nurse in housekeeping.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Cool. Well, welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah. So what were you doing before you were unemployed?
Well, for the longest time, I was working in the prison systems, making decent money, but not making good financial decisions. So, I have a lot of stuff, but I don't have a lot to, I don't have a lot to show for it.
Yeah.
And
well, your A1, I want you to get income in the door, and that might mean doing DoorDash, Instacart Ship. Maybe you do them all. Do whatever you can right now until you can get a full-time salaried position or something where you have some more stable income coming in. And what we teach here is the baby steps. I know you're a new listener. And so what we're going to do is, do you have $1,000 in cash right now in savings?
No. Nope.
So that's your A1.
That's your first goal. And get rid of that stupid car. You said you got the extra car.
You have two cars right now. Both have loans on it?
Yeah.
Could you sell both and get a crappy car right now while you clean up this mess?
Yeah, that's what I originally planned on trying to get rid of the Jeep no matter what, but I've been watching all day and just thinking and
what do you owe on the other car?
I owe $17,000 roughly on the Jeep, and I can get.
What do you owe on the other car?
The other car I owe $14,000. And
yeah, sell them both.
Okay.
Get you a $5,000 car.
I just got the other one.
I don't care.
Not very low, so I think I can get a good value out of it, hopefully.
Good. Yeah, I don't care. Because here's the thing. These things are, if you didn't have these two car payments, you'd have like what's known as a life.
Yeah, I'd have a lot of money left over.
Yeah, and you could go get the job and you start cooking with gas. Then you could get this thing moving and walk right up these baby steps.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. Kelly's going to pick up. We're going to send you a copy of the Total Money Makeover since you're new to the show. Read through that. Get really intense about this, man, and call us back when you're debt-free.
Life is full of firsts. As the first and longest-serving Christian health cost-sharing ministry, CHM has shared medical expenses for its members since 1981. We believe you should have the freedom to focus on your health while being supported by a community of believers, giving you the opportunity to create many more firsts.
George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Most people know me as the guy who says get out of debt. The guy who did a lot of stupid things myself in my 20s, lost everything, had to start again. That's all true. But here's what's interesting. In developing the baby steps, it's how I became a millionaire the second time. And following those. And now, after 30 years of teaching this, since going broke, I meet tens of thousands of millionaires around America that have become millionaires by getting out of debt and starting their investment program using the baby steps process. They are what we call baby steps millionaires. So I haven't done a book in 8 years, but I thought it was time. So I thought we're going to do a book called Baby Steps Millionaires, because I'm meeting baby steps millionaires everywhere. And I want to show you that it can be done. Too many people out there telling people it can't be done. And I know that it can be done. And not only am I going to show you, I'm going to prove it to you with data, with math, with stories, with the largest study of millionaires ever done. So the new book is called Baby Steps Millionaires. It's on pre-order right now. It comes out in 2 weeks, just a little over 2 weeks, January the 11th. But you need to pre-order it before it comes out. That way you get the $150 worth of goodies that go with the pre-order. It's only $20 to pre-order Baby Steps Millionaires. You'll also get Baby Steps Millionaires audiobook and ebook, the Legacy Journey audiobook and ebook. You'll get tickets to the live stream event that George and Rachel and I are doing, the Ramsey Smart Tax online federal filing for free, and the Ramsey Plus free trial for 30 days, an extended free trial. All of that, about $150 value. Just go to RamseySolutions.com. Baby Steps Millionaires. We've already sold tens of thousands. The thing is selling. I was eating lunch with our book wholesale book guy today. Who just sat down at his table, and he's like, yeah, Target just ordered this many and more. Wow. They'd ordered a batch to start with, but they're already seeing the sales are so hot. And Amazon just ordered another a bunch, and I'm not going to quote the numbers, but they're just crazy. That's and because they've got the algorithm, they can tell what they're selling already in pre-sale and what it's going to do. And Barnes & Noble just placed another order. So, and these are second orders, and the book hasn't even come out yet because they're just seeing the activity. That bodes well. Seeing the activity around it. So I think we're going to be okay with this book.
I think so too. This message is just something people have been hungry for. As they search, how do I build wealth? How do I make money?
I wish it was out for Christmas, because some of y'all are going to see your stupid brother-in-law who thinks you can't be a millionaire in America, and you wanted to prove to him you can be. And, because he votes wrong and everything. And so you need to, you want to give him this book and go, yes, you can, and here's the freaking proof, shut up.
It'll help stop the argument.
Yeah, it stops the argument, but of course, that probably won't work. But you should be nice to your stupid brother-in-law. You shouldn't be mean to him.
The first rule, maybe don't call him stupid to his face.
Yeah, maybe just
let Dave do that.
Well, everybody's laughing because y'all think that, right? It's Merry Christmas, golly. All right. Patrick's with us in San Francisco. Merry Christmas, Patrick. What's up?
Hey, Merry Christmas, Dave. Pleasure to talk to you again. My question is a baby step 5 question, and it's along the lines of it's stupid to do something just for the tax benefit, but if you get the tax benefit out of it, that's an extra bonus. My girlfriend is very big on putting her kids through private education, and what she was thinking is set up a 529. You can take out $10,000 a year for private education, as they're minors. Yep. and then the money she puts in would basically be a tax deduction.
No.
Am I missing something?
It's not a tax. It's not tax deductible. It's after-tax dollars that go into a 529. The only benefit of the 529 is it grows tax-free. So running it through there does not create a tax deduction. Unless it does on California state tax. Now, it doesn't on the federal level. I don't know anything about California law, but on the federal level, it is not a deduction in your federal income tax. It does grow tax free. So she dumps a bunch of money in there, and it grows. It's the growth that's tax free that matters. So if you're doing this on the short term, like for 2 years or something, or 1 year, it doesn't. I wouldn't even fool with it.
No, she's planning long term and all the way through college.
I mean, if you got a brand new baby and you're thinking, when they're in the 4th grade, I'm going to use some of this money, then yeah, I'd use a 529 because the growth will be tax free.
Okay, very good. And then actually, if I could get a lesson from you, it'd be greatly appreciated. I saw on Instagram where you say just put money into mutual funds, don't bother with ETFs or anything. And I was just wondering, what's the difference between like an S&P 500 mutual fund and an S&P 500 ETF?
Either one's fine. Okay. I just use a no-load mutual fund, but out of convenience. I've had that account open with that particular company for a bazillion years. But an ETF is fine. What you don't want to get, what I don't endorse, I'm not against ETFs, and I'm not against index funds. We're not at Ramsey. What we are against is saying that is where you ought to put all your money because you can't buy mutual funds that outperform them with your long-term retirement investing. And you can. So that's a false narrative.
Okay.
So there are mutual funds that outperform the indexes, right?
Yes. My Roth IRA, that's what I've gone for is just long track records over.
But like for instance, in my life, I'm inside baseball. Okay, when I've got extra money, like if I get a big check from a publisher, I don't need the money. What am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to park it in an index fund, or I could park it in an ETF. I just don't have one open. But they're basically the same stinking thing for these purposes. And I'll let it sit in that S&P 500 and keep throwing a little bit of money in there, another little check in there, another check in there, and then I'll pull the money out 1.5 years, 2 years later and go buy real estate with it. So I'm not anti-index funds. It's a really good efficient way to do some kind of short-term game like that in particular because if I leave it alone 1 year, my gains are at capital gains rate, not ordinary income rate, and I've got the money earning more than sitting in a stupid money market account, right? Hypothetically, it should be, and it's just real convenient, real easy to do it. But as far as what I get, where I get banged around in these stupid threads that don't even know what I teach, is that I hate EFTs. I don't. We don't. I mean, we're not against index funds. What we are against is the thought train that's out there that you cannot buy mutual funds that outperform them, so you shouldn't bother in your long term. And that's just simply factually wrong. And I've got mutual funds mixes in my 401k that outperform the indexes. And I've got them in other investments for the long-term hold that outperform the indexes. But the indexes aren't bad. They're just not the best for a long-term play.
Yeah, and with your message, it's funny. People like to have this argument back and forth, but the thing that you want them to do is just invest something with a long-term track record, and if it's an index and you think it's going to do 1% up or whatever it is, we want you to be investing for the long term. And right now, people are investing in NFTs and crypto and all kinds of crazy things that don't have a proven track record. And so it's kind of like the people that are having the argument, they're going to be fine. They're going to do okay. We're more worried about the people who aren't investing at all or aren't investing in single stocks and super risky, volatile investments.
Well, and what ETFs are primarily used for jumping in and out of.
It's more day trading, mutual funds.
People trying to time the market, and by most people. And, timing the market, there is zero research that indicates that a buy, hold, or that it doesn't beat a market time process. There's not a market timing process that works.
If you could come up with it,
versus
you would be a multi-billionaire.
Well, I would sell it. I'd sell you the software to do it, like these goobers at these get-rich-quick things. They sell you a piece of software that's $4,000, and
That'll
then
time the market.
you're supposed to, based on this, you should jump in, or based on that, you should jump out. And yeah, if that worked, you think they'd be selling on the back table of a Get Rich Quick seminar? No, billion-dollar mutual funds will be using that system, dummy. I mean, come on, use your brain. But no, I've got this figured out because I met a guy in the back of the ballroom at the Ramada Inn.
They still have those?
No, they don't have ballrooms at the Ramada Inn anymore. They don't have Ramada Inns. This is the Ramsey Show.
If you're considering a career in technology, I recommend Bethel Tech, and I'm not alone. Here's what Brendan said. Before Bethel Tech, I was driving Uber. Within 4 months of graduating, I got a job paying $60,000. About 2 years after that, I got a remote job that pays me $130,000, all thanks to what I learned at Bethel Tech. You could be next. Get started today at BethelTech.net and get $1,000 to $2,500 off of your tuition. Again, it's BethelTech.net/Ken Coleman.
Ramsey Personality is my co-host today. Travis and Laura are in Austin, Texas. Says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thanks, Dave.
Well done. How much have you paid off?
We paid off $186,797.
Excellent. How long did that take?
It took us about 46 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started about $76,000 and ending at $190,000.
There's a nice jump in 4 years.
Yes, it has been.
What do you guys
get
do?
A job?
What do you guys do for a living?
Laura's an RN, and I'm a teacher.
Okay. One of you not working at the start of that, and now both of you are? Is that what happened?
Well, no, I was actually coaching in small college and just got done being a graduate assistant. Then I made a career change and started teaching and coaching in high school. And Laura's picked up an extra job along the way. She teaches nursing on the side and just a bunch of overtime.
Oh, my goodness. So y'all just been working your butts off. Okay.
Yes.
So what was the $187,000 in debt? What kind of debt?
It was about $115,000 in student loans, $36,000 on the car, had some medical and furniture, then we cash flowed her doctoral degree.
Whoa! Dr. Laura.
Yes.
Way to go. Very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice. So, wow, you've accomplished a lot in 46 months. Tell us your story. What started all this?
So actually about 5 years ago, my in-laws started listening to your show, and they were very inspired and started talking to us about your program, and we bought them FPU for their birthday. And when we did that, they started the program, and when they were done, they actually re-gifted it back to us and said, okay, it's your turn. And it took us a little while. We were pretty Dave-ish for a while, and then we kind of just got tired of living month to month and our money just leaving and not knowing where it's going or what we're doing with it. And we just decided to go gazelle intense about 36 months ago, and we've done it, and we're excited about it.
Wow. So let me get this straight. They were into the Ramsey stuff, and you went, this will be a fun birthday gift. Let's gift them FPU. But you weren't doing the stuff. And then they go, hey, this is amazing. Here you go. Regift.
Yeah, so we actually paid for their program on our credit card and gave it to them for their birthday.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a big sin. You know that.
Yeah. The cops are outside your door right now. Oh, my gosh. That's a great story. That is the best regift. That's the only one I think is appropriate, is regifting FPU, because it changed their life.
Way to go, guys. Way to go. So how old are you two?
31.
Wow. How's it feel to be free?
It's pretty relaxing and inspiring. We're real excited about it, and what we can start doing here in the future has been just motivating us along the way.
Sounds like the dog's excited too.
Oh, that dog hasn't said anything this whole time, and then all of a sudden they know Dave Ramsey's on. They're getting excited.
So pumped.
There's that.
So you guys obviously had the in-laws as cheerleaders. Anyone else that was cheerleading you on?
Well, we actually have 4 kids. We started with 2 when we started the program, and then along the way we got a surprise and had twins.
Wow.
So they've been pretty motivating for us.
Adorable.
Yeah. My parents have been great helping us watch the kids, and Laura's sisters and all of our family, they've been helping out along the way.
Very cool. Very cool, you guys. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is? You did it.
I mean, really, the key is setting a good budget. We use the Every Dollar app. We've finally gotten to a point where we just know what it is, and but it was really monthly meetings. The 2 of us sitting down. I'm the spender. Travis is the saver. So there were a few heated conversations at the beginning, but we realized we knew what our goals were and what we had to do to get there. And so really setting that budget, weekly meetings, monthly meetings, whatever we needed to do, and just putting faith in each other, putting faith in the program.
Wow. You guys are incredible. I mean, there wasn't a single thing that didn't change for you guys in that 4 years.
So I love this, the heated conversation. What was the biggest money fight you had while you were doing this whole thing?
I would just say right early on when we started, I struggled, being involved, and saying no, just because I was banking about $20,000 a year. My first year doing it, and I didn't feel like I could really participate that, and it took us a while to get that going for us to work.
What was the fight? Tell us about the fight.
Dave loves a good fight.
No, I can tell you. I mean, there was a point where, I wanted to spend. I did not want to get rid of the credit cards, and I was like, no, I want the points. I want to use the points. We're going on a cruise. It's going to be on our credit card. It'll be great. And, I could really tell Travis was not wanting to talk about it, and I was like, we need to talk about this. I mean, it was intense for us, and we decided at that point, like, we were done fighting about money, and he, I finally was like, if you don't feel like you make enough money, what are we going to do? We have to do it together. We have to decide together. And I think that's been the success of it all, is every step along the way, it's not yours and mine. Once we got married, it's ours, and how can we get ours bigger and better to where we want to go?
Now we're getting down to it. Way to go.
Wow.
That'll preach. Well done. Very well done. Yeah, when you give up on the philosophical lies that you were believing that put you into the mess, like we're going on a cruise on our points crap, when you give up on that and you actually lean into the truth, which is we're going to have to bust it ourselves and clean this mess up and quit doing the stupid stuff that got us here, that's when it changed. I could hear that in your voice when you're talking about it. That's powerful. Well done, Laura. Well done. Good stuff. Woo! I love it. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Great job. Great job. Guys, you changed your family tree. You're freaking heroes, man. I'm so proud of you guys. Go get a PhD, having babies, pay off $187,000. I mean, that's impressive. Very well done. And you're just 30 years old, man. It's just amazing. You're going to be able to do anything you freaking want to do, you'll be able to do.
Including a cruise.
Yeah. Yeah. Which would be scarier than crud right now. But
Right. Well, we'll be paying cash for it, that's for sure.
I'm not sure I want to be trapped on a boat with that many people anyway, but right now I for sure don't want to be trapped on a boat with that. Okay, I just lost the advertising on the cruise. Oh, well. No. So, yeah, I lost that sponsor. All right, guys, we got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires coming your way early before it hits the streets on January the 11th. How ordinary people built extraordinary wealth. How you can too. This next chapter in your story, you pay off $187,000 by the time you're 31. Ding, ding. You're going to be multi-freaking millionaires before this is done. This is what's on the way for you. Send you a copy of Total Money Makeover to give away. Financial Peace University, Every Dollar app. You did it all. You did what it took to win. I'm so proud of you. Way to go. Travis and Laura, Austin, Texas, $187,000 paid off in 46 months, making 76 to 190. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! The dogs are barking. Life is good.
Man.
Bust it, man.
That's an incredible couple.
Hey, they're power, man. That's power
There's
couple
nothing
right
they can't
there.
do.
That's power. Whew. You know, the moral of the story, there's a bunch of morals of the story, but I love what he said. I didn't feel like because I was only making 20, I had the right to speak into this. Let me just tell you, it's called your life, and you better speak into your life. That's the lesson he learned. You got to speak up. It doesn't, well, my wife makes more than me. My husband makes more than me. I don't feel like my wife, our income is my income. So you think she doesn't get a vote? Well, by God, I'll just promise you, Sharon Ramsey gets a vote, okay? So we've run that thing we've run it 40 years that way, and we're not running it any other way. It's not, she doesn't feel like she can speak up because I, quote, earn the money, unquote.
That's what I love about Sharon. She's not scared to voice her opinion.
She's not afraid, I can tell you that. So, but I tell you what, that's how we got where we are, too. You do speak up. You both step into it. It's teamwork. We both have a voice. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain. This is The Ramsey Show. Okay, guys, here's the reality. The reality is if you're going to lose weight, it's easier if you have a system. If you're going to get in shape, it's easier if you have a coach, a personal trainer. It's easier to have somebody walk with you, talk with you, bust you. And so the last couple doing their debt-free scream said, they gifted it to their in-laws, and then they re-gifted it back. So they go through Financial Peace University. They use the EveryDollar app. The EveryDollar app is the world's best budgeting app, and I'm not exaggerating because it's mine. It just is. It's robust. It's absolutely incredible. The premium version that you get with Ramsey Plus when you sign up for Financial Peace University and do the whole thing is connects to your bank, and it automatically downloads your debit card stuff, and you drop it right into your budget. And it's just really, really, really easy to keep your budget going with your debit card transactions. And so, the best tools make it easier in any sports. I think of sports. A really good set of golf clubs does change your game if you have a decent game. I shoot a lot, and there's a difference in a cheap pistol and an expensive pistol. The expensive ones do shoot better. There's a reason they cost more. So you get the right tools help. And so EveryDollar helps. Going through Financial Peace University, learning the stuff. There's been, it's close to 10 million people now have gone through the class. Over 7,000 families. And so you can do all of that. And, since we started tracking it, a bazillion years ago. And it used to be it took 90 days to go through the class when we taught it with like VHS tapes and that kind of stuff, right? And the average family would pay off $2,700 or $5,300 in debt and save $2,700 and $8,000 change in position during that 90 days. And you know what? Those numbers are still just about the same. We track them all the time. And so you get about $8,000 movement in just the first 3 months of doing this stuff. And so, since we don't charge $8,000 to go through the class, that makes the class a good buy, and at whatever, $100.
Good ROI.
Yeah. And if you want to try it out for free, you can do a free trial. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Get into Financial Peace University, run the free trial, start using EveryDollar premium version. You're going to see the difference. It makes a difference. It really does. Greg is with us in Maryland. Hi, Greg. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Just was scrolling through the radio, first-time listener, and I was like, man, this guy just kind of jives. He makes sense. So I'm calling. I need some advice. what I have going on is I recently have tried to downsize and do everything I can, going from a car loan to a small Honda Civic late model with, tens of thousands of miles on it. So
and no payments.
What I'm trying to do though is clear debt with my home. It's the only thing left I owe on, but it's $250,000. And I'm trying to figure out long term, is it better for me to invest the money that I've cleared up with paying off my car loan and credit cards and use that money towards paying on my home loan, or do I invest that more to my retirement at work?
It's a great question, and welcome to the show. Appreciate you listening in. So the process that we teach on the show is called the baby steps, and it's the proven plan that Dave was just talking about with Financial Peace. This is the plan inside of Financial Peace. And so baby step 1, $1,000 starter emergency fund. Baby step 2, clear all of your consumer debt using the debt snowball. Sounds like you're done with consumer debt, right?
Right.
So baby step 3 is building up a 3 to 6 months emergency fund of expenses. Do you have that in place?
I do not.
Okay, so that would be your next step right now, is to stack up that money as fast as possible, 3 to 6 months. If your income's really stable, you may lean 3, or if you want a little more, you can lean towards 6. And once you're done with that, you move on to baby step 4, which is where we start investing. And the investing looks like this. 15% of your household income going into retirement, tax advantage retirement accounts like your company 401k, a Roth IRA, things of that nature. Then you move on to college savings, then you move on to paying off the house. So if you're saying, hey, should I be investing more or paying off the house right now? Once you've got that emergency fund, you're investing 15%, then I would use any extra money to pay off the house early. Once you've done that, you've got a paid-for house. You're in baby step 7, and that's where you can go hog wild. You can invest like crazy because you have all the income in the world. So that's the plan.
So it sounds like then investing at 15% once you meet that margin or that barrier first, then move on to, okay, anything additional is what you're going to use to do additional principal payments on the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You got this stuff, man. That was quick.
Yeah, you dialed it in fast. That's exactly. And here's the reason, okay? What we've run is we've run over 30 years of doing this. We've run a bazillion different actual life situations and some hypothetical case study ideas and said, okay, we're going to take someone with this income at this age, and here's how it works. This income at this age. And 15% is a healthy amount, but it doesn't drain you down so far that you get to do nothing on the house. You could have said it. We ran some scenarios at 20% back in the day when we were developing this system. We ran some scenarios at 10%, but the 10%, the retirement was too anemic, and the 20%, the amount of money we had to throw at the house was too anemic. And so it ended up landing to where you'll be a multimillionaire if you follow this process exactly, because you will have built millions of dollars into your 401k, and you'll have a paid-for house, and that paid-for house will be worth $500,000 to $1 million. And so it sounds like in your case anyway. And so that sets you up to do all of this. All of this is outlined in the book that we did that's a #1 bestseller for a decade. It's on the bestseller list almost every week. It's called The Total Money Makeover, and it's the baby steps on steroids. It shows you every nuance, every question, every little detail about the baby steps, what to do next, what to do next, what to do next, and so on. So hold on. Kelly will pick up. We'll give you a copy of that as a new listener. Merry Christmas. We appreciate you joining us. Nick is with us. Nick is in Orange County. Hi, Nick. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve, man. What's up?
I have a question for you. So I'm still learning the baby steps. I was referred to you by some friends. Been listening to you on YouTube for a few months, and trying to match up baby steps where we are in our life. And so I've basically got an emergency fund that's probably 6 to 12 months, so I'm okay with that. My question relates to that. So right now, I'm saving about $30,000 a year, partially going towards retirement, towards that emergency fund, and what we were going to do was basically invest in another home, right? My wife and I are thinking of looking at another home to move to. So my question to you is, right now, out of that $30,000 that's being saved annually, about $10,000 of that is going towards my 401k at my work, and $20K is just going into a savings account because we wanted it to be liquid for the emergency fund / have that ready when we want to pull the trigger on a home. So I wanted to ask you really two-part question. One was, at this point, we've got a pretty decent amount saved up in there now. We've been doing this for a while. So I wanted to ask you, should I now change that $30K allocation and make that more towards the 401K and very little towards that savings?
Okay.
The simplest thing to do here, if you're following our plan, the baby steps, is do 15% of your household income. So that really simplifies the numbers. Take 15% of what you make in a year. That's how much should be going into your 401k and IRAs. Everything else can
You should
go
not be adding anything else to your emergency fund. You have too much in there now.
I'd scale it back down to 6 and use the rest for the house savings.
You need to separate the house and the emergency fund. They're not the same fund. It's not a slash emergency fund slash house fund. It's have an emergency fund in one account, money market, with 3 to 6 months of expenses, and everything else is going over here for the house deal. And everything above 15%, you can just pile it over there. And even if you want to back down the 15% a little bit, but I wouldn't. I think you've done, you got a bunch of money saved here.
Yeah. So if you keep that up, and if this timeline is looking like, hey, we need to get this house a year from now, I would not put it into the market, into mutual funds. But if you're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you may want to park that in some mutual funds and let it grow.
Yeah, or a portion of it anyway. Yeah, so very good stuff. Thank you for joining us, Nick. We appreciate you being with us. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Good job to George Camel, to James Childs, and to Kelly Daniel in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, and we will be back.
It's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free screen live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host as we talk about your work, your relationships, your life, and your money right here every day. And one of us Ramsey Personalities can help you with all of those things. Some of us more than others, but we're all here to help. That's for sure. The phone number, 888-825-5225. Corey is in White Plains, New York. Hi, Corey. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you taking my phone call.
Sure. What's up?
Big fan. Thank you so much for everything you do for everybody, and you help change my family's life. I had a quick question. I heard you mention the other day about the Backdoor Roth and it coming to an end. I believe you said maybe at the end of this year. And I wanted to know if I should try to convert a traditional IRA into a Roth before the year is over.
No, you wouldn't do it. And by the way, the backdoor has not gone away because it was part of the Build Back Better thing, and it didn't pass. So I just figured it was going to pass. So it may pass yet, or some version of something may pass. They're going to, the Biden administration is going to plug this hole. So I don't know whether they're going to get done this year or next year, but just be looking for that. But you can do a backdoor Roth, and that's different than a Roth rollover.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, when we would roll a Roth, when would we roll a traditional to a Roth? How much is in your traditional?
It's only about $30,000.
Okay, so you're going to create a $7,000 tax bill.
Yes.
Okay. When would I create a $7,000 tax bill to convert to Roth so it grows tax free? Baby step 7.
Yes.
Are you in baby step 7?
No, I'm not. I'm still in 4, 5, and 6. I just, my concern was that I was going to miss out on this, and I just wanted to know if there was something I should or shouldn't do.
Good question. No, you're not going to miss out on it. And 2, I'd rather you put the $7,000 towards your mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you what baby step are you on right now?
4, 5, 6.
4.
Okay. Okay. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'd put that on the mortgage, and once you're at baby step 7, hopefully it's still around, and you can convert it over.
Yeah, that's so. Like, folks, if you're listening, it means you got like $100,000 sitting in a traditional rollover, and you want to move it. It's going to cost you $25,000. I don't want you spending that $25,000. It's a good move to do it if you're in 30s or 40s, 50s to move it and let it grow from this point tax free is going to be beautiful, and it has the same mathematical effect of having invested another $25,000 into your IRA or into your investments. But don't do that while you still got a mortgage. Don't do that while you still got other debt, while you're earlier in the baby steps. Your kids' college isn't taken care of. I don't want to create a $25,000 bill for you while you're still working the baby steps. But once you're out there in baby step 7, it's a wonderful thing to be able to do that. So good question. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Christopher's in Oklahoma City. Hi, Christopher. How are you?
Hi, I'm pretty good, I guess.
Good. How can we help?
I have problems. So we had some fraudulent transactions on our account, and my wife was talking about getting a credit card because she makes online transactions, and I guess they're easy. Fraud is easier to handle on credit cards. I've watched you guys. I've watched your YouTube stuff all the time for years. So I wanted to know what you would recommend to prevent fraud, preferably something free.
Yeah. Well, fraud is if you get a fraudulent transaction on a credit card, you don't owe the money. If you get a fraudulent transaction on a debit card, you don't owe the money. And so the net result of both is no loss to you. It's both free. Visa and MasterCard have the exact same protections for fraud on debit as they do on credit. Now, on your debit, it can come out of your account, and it may be a little bit before you get it put back into the account, but the bank is on the hook for that transaction, not you. So you do not have a greater risk of losing money with a debit card than you do with a credit card. So that's just bogus. Now, here's the other thing. If she's bouncing around where she's doing online crap where she's showing up with fraud all the time, she needs to fix her dadgum ways. I mean, what are you doing? What kind of sites are you hanging out on? That's crazy. I'm not going to continue to a behavior pattern that's inviting fraud into anything.
No, I don't think she's going crazy online. I mean, this is the first time we've noticed this.
Well, I mean, how many different fraudulent transactions were there?
There were 2.
Then shut up.
We just found them yesterday.
Oh my God. That's just ridiculous. You're going to completely change your whole way of handling money over 2 fraudulent transactions. I had a fraudulent transaction on my debit card last week. They shut it down, removed it instantly, shut the card down for 48 hours, reopen, we're done. I'm not going to completely change my whole life over 2 transactions. You live in a world where you're going to have a fraudulent transaction occasionally. I thought you were talking like you had 100 or something.
Yeah, she needs to just make sure she's got the right security measures in place when she's shopping online. Don't store your card info. Make sure you've got secure passwords. Don't use the same passwords across sites. This is basic. If she really wants security, this is how she's going to get it, not from a credit card. And so that's going to be a conversation you have to have with her. It sounds more like a marriage conversation than it is a financial question, but she has to understand that it has the same protections. You'll be okay. There's even sites like I use one called privacy.com. It makes fake debit card numbers that are attached to your real account. James Childs is a big fan of that, and that really protects you. And you can set a lot of different limits on there. So if she's really that concerned, there's some great tools out there, but a credit card is not the tool to go with.
And 2 fraudulent transactions, 2 of anything, shouldn't be enough to cause you to completely change the way you handle your money.
No, but people freak out about
it. Sounds to me like she just wants a credit card. That's what it sounds like. And and so that she can go into debt and go do a bunch of other crap with money y'all don't have. That's what it sounds like.
The credit card is much more dangerous for your financial future than any chance of fraud on a debit card. That's the truth.
Mic drop. All right. Ira is with us in Lexington. Ira, how are you? Wait a minute. Let me try that again.
Everything I deserve, Dave. How are you doing, sir?
Just the same. What's up?
So, my wife and I are baby step 7. We became debt-free in 2019, and we're saving up for real estate investing. And I would like to ask you, if you woke up in our shoes, would you form an LLC, or would you buy properties in cash personally?
I'd go ahead and put it in an LLC, just for risk management. And I don't put more than $5 million of property into an LLC. After that, I form another one. And so if I have a single property that is more than $5 million, it has a standalone LLC. And that way, if something happens on that property, they can only sue for and take that one property. They don't get everything else you own. So it's a risk management thing to separate your risk with an LLC in real estate. And I like using them for that. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular, and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. George Camel, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Blinds.com. It gives us our question of the day. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Means even if you mismeasure or you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY, and you'll get the best deal.
Today's question comes from Jermaine in Florida. Why pay off collections if your credit score, debt, and taking loans goes against your teachings? I got to read that one again. Why pay off collections if your credit score, debt, and taking loans goes against your teachings? What is he asking there?
Well, he's asking why pay off your debt. You know, he's not. If you're not worried about your credit score, and just let it run up.
Well, it's not about the credit score here.
Yeah. So what it amounts to is Jermaine, you're picking and choosing which of our teachings you like in order to do something stupid. So let me help you. The teaching number one is the number one correlating character quality to people who build wealth is extreme levels of integrity. You're not representing that in your question very well. So integrity says if you have debt in collections that you go settle it. If you're broke, you offer them a settlement of some kind, and we teach people how to do that regularly. Or a settlement if the fees and other things added to it are unreasonable, out of control, crazy, like double, triple, quadruple, that kind of thing. But you know, you got a $250 medical bill there where you actually went to the doctor and you did a $250. You need to just pay your bill, Jermaine. That's why.
Yeah, this does not go against our teachings to pay off your debt. That is, in fact, what we teach. And we're not concerned about the credit score. Nowhere do we say pay off collections so that your credit score doesn't take a dip. We are not concerned with that. But like Dave's saying, it's the integrity factor here. You took out this debt. We believe you should pay it back.
It does help your credit score, though.
Sure.
Because a collection's standing against your credit score. But if you're not worried about your credit score because you're not going to borrow money anymore, per our teachings, then his point is, why bother and pay them off? Why go clean it up? Because you owe the money. And because it's your electronic reputation and you need to spend some effort.
And a bad credit score can hurt you in certain situations. So we like no score, and that's what happens when you pay off all of your debt. But with it sitting in collections out there, that's not going to be a pretty situation if for some reason they needed to pull that score and they go, no, you're not going to get a
no
mortgage.
score is preferable. Bad score you can live with if you never try to borrow money or never try to do anything where they're pulling your credit score. But I'm not trying to get you off the grid. I'm just trying to get you where you're not dependent on debt as your source. That's the thing. And so that's where you misunderstood. And again, I think you're picking and choosing which of our teachings, because we've always taught people to pay their bills. If at all possible, if you have the money, if you can find the money, if you can work extra, if you can sell stuff, pay your bills, we want you to pay your bills because that's what's best for you in the long run. And again, the number one correlating character quality of people that are able to build wealth and win is extreme fanatical levels of integrity. So that's what you're aiming for. Nikita is with us in Boston. Hi, Nikita. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I have what may be a fairly simple question, and that is how to best allocate money after you've maxed out your 401. So for a little bit of context, I just got a pretty massive increase in income. I'm making about $200K a year.
Woohoo! Awesome. Way to go!
Yeah. I don't have any debt besides about $20K in a car payment. And I have about $70K already saved.
Good. Yeah, $70K in what?
It's a mix of things. It's most of it is in a mix of an IRA, which is a Roth.
Do you have any money saved that is not in retirement?
Yes. Yeah, I have about 3 months emergency
in
a high interest savings account.
How much?
$16K.
$16K. All right.
So here's the thing, Nikita. I know it's not a fun answer, but you're not ready to invest right now until we clean up this debt. How quickly could you?
Car payment.
You said you had $20K on something else?
On a car?
Just the car.
Okay. So, you can do it Nikita's way. That's fine. But if you want to do it the Ramsey way, what we teach is that you're going to have a $1,000 starter emergency fund, and any other money is going to go towards debt.
That's not in a retirement account.
You can clean this up real quick. With your income, you're going to be there really fast.
So I'm going to put $15,000 on your $20,000 car. I'm going to pay the $5,000 off in a month or two. Then I'm going to build your emergency fund up to 3 to 6 months of expenses, which sounds more like $15K in cash in your situation. Then, and only then, would you restart your 401K, which you need to stop until you've done those things.
Yeah, realistically, my retirement account is pretty small. I actually have a much larger personal investment, like it's invested but not in a retirement account. So it's liquid. So, I could pay the car payment off in full today.
Good, do it.
But so then the question becomes, after that, with the money I'm making, I'm single, I'm young. I can definitely max out the 401 very comfortably.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you're debt free, and you have. I thought you said you had nothing except $16,000 in an account plus your retirement money.
And so I have my net worth right now is.
No, stop. You're talking in circles. All right. Do you have money other than the $16,000 and other than retirement money?
Yes.
What?
I have $50K in an investment account that's non-retirement.
Okay, that wasn't what you answered before. All right, good. Cash that out, enough of it, and write a check and pay off your car today. Okay, then we'll get on with your question. Yeah, you make sure you've got 3 to 6 months of expenses. $16,000 is not enough. It's okay if you want to call it that. We'll call that your emergency fund. Okay, then you put 15% away. Now you can do your maxed out 401k, which won't get you to 15% because 15% of $200,000 is $30,000 we're trying to get to. So you can put 19 in your 401k. You can max out your Roth IRA, and you'll be just fine doing those two things. You're not going to quite get to 15%. Do you own a home?
No.
Okay, cool.
And
then we start saving like crazy to buy a house.
And it's always good to save for a house, even if you're not sure you're going to buy soon.
You are going to buy someday, and it won't hurt you to have $300,000 in an account when you get ready.
Okay.
So that's your next big goal beyond maxing out a Roth and maxing out your 401.
Yeah, I don't think I can do a Roth.
You can do a backdoor Roth.
Oh, a backdoor Roth, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
And so jump in with your SmartVestor Pro and get that started. But pay off that car today, girl. Don't walk around acting like this car is okay. Because I don't smell you paying it off. I think you think it's no big deal. I can eat 17 donuts and I won't get fat. Yes, you will. 17 donuts equals fat. I know. I did it. Okay, so you can't do that. I got big as a dadgum house during COVID because I ate every donut in a 50-mile radius. But if you act like that, that's what's going to happen. And so you just can't misbehave and just gloss over it and act like nothing's going to happen. There's a result to your behaviors. Pay off the stupid car, and don't buy another stupid car unless you pay cash for it. You make too much money. You make a lot of money now, girl. You're doing so good. Congratulations on the incredible raise, the incredible income.
Yeah.
Now let's use it and go make some money with it. Go make some wealth with it. You're already making money, but let's build some wealth with this thing. This is the Ramsey Show. Personality is my co-host today here on the Ramsey Show. I'm Dave Ramsey in the hobby. There we go. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions. It might be a hobby, but it's a lobby. And on the debt-free stage is Colin and Caitlin. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, better than we deserve. How are you doing, Dave? Merry Christmas.
Just the same, brother. Merry Christmas to you. Where do y'all live?
Just south of Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, not too bad a drive to Nashville, but welcome. Awesome. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$156,580.
I love it. And how long did this take?
33 months.
Wow. And your range of income during that time?
Started out about 36 and got around 55 towards the end.
You sold something.
we sure did.
Okay. It didn't work. The math didn't work. All right. What kind of debt was the $157,000 and what did you sell?
A little bit of everything. We had credit cards, a lot of student loans. I had a car payment, had some medical bills, and what we sold was our home that we had at the time.
Oh, ouch. Big sacrifice to make this move.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so how much equity came out of the home?
About $75,000.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, and then so you cash flowed the other 75.
Yes, sir.
Or 80. Okay, now those numbers work. So what are you doing? Renting right now?
Well, right now we were fortunate enough that we had some great grandparents that were really good about money. You talk about that all the time. This is stuff that they knew and applied, and so we were a beneficiary. There was a vacant farmhouse that my family owned, and so at the time I got a job where I traveled, and so it didn't matter where I lived, and so we got to move up there after I finally convinced her to kind of get up and get out.
We're originally from just south of Atlanta, Georgia. So it was a big move.
Okay, so you moved to the family farm, the free rent.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In the old farmhouse. So it's Green Acres. You probably don't even remember that song.
Yes.
That sitcom. Dun 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 dun.
That's right.
Right. And so and so you move her onto the farm. We got out of debt, and was it worth all that? Man, that's a lot.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you like farm life then?
Definitely.
Oh,
the traffic is so much better.
Yes.
Hey, all traffic
Quiet.
is better than Atlanta.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Atlanta's cursed.
Yes.
Yeah. And Lexington, they don't even know what traffic is compared to Atlanta, or nowhere near Lexington even. Yeah. Wow. So that's a big move.
Yes, sir.
It was.
Tell us the story of how you processed all of that. It's literally a move, but I'm saying emotionally, you guys, you changed your whole way of looking at life.
Yeah, we did. It was really hard at first. It was hard on our family. It was hard on us just to, because it was such a big move. And we had 3 kids at the time, but they were all very young, so it wasn't too hard for them to adjust to it. But it has been hard to be away from the grandparents and the aunts and uncles, but the financial benefits that we've experienced have just been completely worth it.
And it's not forever.
No.
Right. But it's for a stage to make the turn here.
Yes.
So like your parents are in Atlanta then?
Yes.
Yes, all of our parents are.
Both of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the grandparents or the great-grandparents are up in the Lexington
Well,
area.
I've got some aunts and uncles still in the Lexington area.
The property you're on was your...
Right.
Yeah, okay, your family still.
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Wow.
Okay,
So
amazing.
33 months ago, what was that turning point where you guys said,
Yeah,
all right,
something
we're
blew
normal.
up, man.
We got credit cards, we got the student
Grenade
loan.
was dropped into the house.
People don't just up and change their whole life like that. What happened with you guys?
Right.
Well, we just didn't want to be slave to the lender anymore. Like you're saying in the Proverbs all the time, 22:7. It says the borrower is slave to the lender, and we want to have one master, and that's Jesus. And so this was just the big thing that we've been convicted about doing. Ever since 2016, we started an FPU class at our church. At the time, our shovel was more of a spoon. And so we kind of dropped out of the class because there was no way that we could afford.
You felt like this isn't for us, I guess.
Right, we did. But it was always on our hearts and on our minds, and we just kept that burden on our backs of that weight. Then we realized the compounding interest of the student loans, and we were like, we just had a moment in 2018 after he had gotten his new job, and we were like, we just have to do it now. It's now or never.
And so you bust it.
Yeah.
Did your family, some of your family think you were crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
They still think we're crazy.
Okay. All right. Some of your friends, too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What
Yeah.
church were you going to with Financial Peace University?
It was First Baptist Jonesboro.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Very cool. Good. Okay. So now you're debt free, 100%, because you got rid of the mortgage.
Yeah.
And everything. Now, we don't have a house yet, but we're 100% debt free. And how's that feel?
Such a burden lifted.
Yeah.
There's a future. There's a hope and a future now. When we think about our kids and just the legacy that we want to live with them, there was a way out. And so we're just so grateful for the way the Lord provided that. Just out of the blue with the new job, the house that happened to be vacant at the time. It was just, providential to say the least. And we're just so thankful.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Of course, sticking with the budget, but for us, it's really more knowing your why. And of course, our number one why is we want to be ready to do whatever the Lord asks us to do. And we believe that the debt was, limiting that potentially. And so we wanted to get rid of that master and just have one master.
That's good.
And then, of course, our other whys are sitting out here with us. And we want to just change the family tree. We want to leave a legacy that just teaches them good financial principles and hopefully blesses them, and so we can continue to give to others along the way.
Beautifully said. I love it. As a person of faith, it is amazing the doors that can open when you have all the options in the world because you're not chained to debt and lenders. So that's a powerful thing. And it sounds like it started for you guys with a whole lot of conviction. And you went, we should probably listen to this. There's probably something here.
Yes.
So when you were sitting back there and you say, okay, Proverbs 22:7 is real. I got a monkey on my back. I got to get him off. You had this vision in your mind of how it was going to feel when you finally did get there. Was it as good or better than you thought it was going to be, or worse? I mean, is it like, I thought it was going to be better than this?
I'd say it was better than we expected.
Okay. So now when you get the next $200,000 cash, which you're on your way to get, that'll be your next thing, right? You got a big pile of money. What are you going to do next?
Well, we kind of had to go into stork mode. We had planned to save up baby step 3B and save up a down payment on a house. But we found out we're pregnant with twins now.
Whoa.
Baby boys.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Incredible. What does that take the grand total to now? How many kids will that be?
6.
Woo!
Yeah, okay.
We've got to get a new van.
So now you get the van, you get the twins landed, and then you're going to buy a house. Will you stay in Lexington or will you go back towards Atlanta?
We don't know. God hasn't shown us yet.
Okay. All right.
Exactly where we're going to land.
So you'll be there for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Saving up.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a great season of life. You look back on this section of your life as an adventure when you change the whole direction of everything. There's a sense that that there's a milestone, there's a stake was driven in the ground right here. So very, very well done. I'm proud of you guys. You're heroes. You got to feel great.
We do.
Feels good.
Way to go. We got a copy of Baby Steps Millionaires for you. Comes out January the 11th, but we're going to give you an early release copy because I know a guy. And I'll also give you a copy of the Total Money Makeover, and you can give that to somebody and get them started on the same kind of journey. So let's get the kiddos in, and it's Colin and Caitlin, Kara, Krista, Corbin, and Chloe, all from the Lexington, Kentucky area, plus 2 little brothers on the way. $157,000 paid off in 33 months, making 36 to 55. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
Yeah! Touchdown. Look at that bunch. Oh my gosh, they're cute.
Adorable.
Wow! This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Jeremiah 26:14. As for me, I am in your hands. Do with me whatever you think is good and right. Richard Branson says, train people well enough so they can leave. Treat them well enough so they don't want to. John's with us in Austin, Texas. Hi, John. Welcome to the Ramsey Show. Merry Christmas.
Hi, Merry Christmas to you as well. So I am following the baby steps. I just finished baby step 1, so I have $1,000 for an emergency fund. And I have credit card debt left over, and also I have a car lease, which I promise to you it's the last car lease I'll ever do. But I'm sitting out because the used car market is really good right now. So if I were to compare the Kelley Blue Book value of the car for the trade-in compared to my buyout, it would basically net me a $4,700 check. I was calling to see if I should potentially do that or if I should prioritize one of my lower credit cards that I owe.
It nets you money.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't cost you money. So how does it compare to a credit card? I'm confused.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I mean,
You're saying, should I move it up in the debt snowball? Because of
you'd have to come out of pocket with $4,700?
No, I would end up getting $4,700 back. So the Kelley Blue Book value is $19,000.
Yeah, and you would get rid of a car payment and have $5,000 in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that? You should do that or do a credit card? I'm confused.
I'm sorry. So basically take that amount, and then I was wondering, like, is that enough to get, like, a decent enough used car?
Oh, yeah,
or
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, get you a $5,000 car.
Okay.
That's a net zero. That costs you nothing towards your debt snowball, except it gets rid of your big butt car payment.
Sure.
And what do you make a year?
About between 55 to 60K.
Cool. Good. Okay. And how much debt do you have left, not counting this car?
Yeah, not counting the lease. So credit card, that's about $17,000, and I have about a $5,000 personal loan that I'm paying off.
Okay, so $18K clears you. And how much is your car payment?
Car payment is $375.
Okay, cool. All right, so you got an extra $400 a month to throw towards the 18. When do you project you'll be done with the 18? Without a car payment?
Without the car. I don't know. Everything I've done factoring has been including a car payment. So I mean, if I did $375 extra a month, that's I don't know. It would definitely shorten.
Well, that's $5,000 a year. Making. You said 55.
On 55 to 60. I do commission, so it varies.
I would want you debt free in under a year. That's $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And you don't have the $375 car payment. That gets you there in a year. You can do that.
Yeah, and then I guess probably insurance payment would probably go down too, because I imagine insurance on a lower end car would definitely go down significantly from what I'm paying now.
Yep.
Cool. I guess that was an easy question.
Well, it's a painful thing to do. But here's the thing. The way I answer these questions and the way I look at it, George, is to say, okay, 10 years from today, which of these moves am I going to be glad I did? Am I going to be glad I drove a piece of crap $5,000 car for 2 years, 1 year while I get out of debt, another year while I save up some money, finish my emergency fund, and buy a better car? Is that going to have led me towards more wealth and more peace and more prosperity, or slogging my way through this lease? Which one's going to have done it? And so for me, it's a no-brainer, because doing it this way is going to get you to wealthy faster.
Yeah.
And we're driving a piece of crap for 2 years. Oh, well, give it a name. Old Blue, Old Big Red, right? If you got a car that it needs a name, you're probably working their plan.
Oh, yeah. And I was just telling Dave before the break about my crappy car that I'm excited to upgrade now, because we've been aggressive on paying off the house. And so if you've got big goals like that, you're willing to do some things and sacrifice. And one of those is driving a nice car. I can live without that for now.
So with our last debt-free scream, George, for the year 2021, screaming on the air. Now, these are people who actually did the on-the-air scream, not other ways we track.
In the lobby or on the phone.
Just in the lobby or on the phone. They made it to the show. $434,043.
Wow.
Debt-free screamers have paid off in 1 year. $54 million a year.
That's what, $4.5 million or so a month?
If you did that for 10 years, that'd be $500 million. And I've been doing this show for 30 years, so we're well over $1 billion worth of debt-free screams, easy, during the time I've done this show on the air. Wow. Of people that have paid off their debt and celebrated on the air $1 billion in debt reduction.
And that's just the ones that have made it.
But
Imagine
Dave Ramsey doesn't know what he's doing. So just in case you idiots on Reddit didn't understand, right? Oh, my God. So, yeah, this is just so insulting. But $54 million paid off this year in debt-free screams alone. Those people think that George Camel and the people at Ramsey Solutions are geniuses. Those people that have had their lives changed and completely moved around, it's a big deal.
That's incredible. That's a milestone to achieve, and shout out to Kelly and everyone in the booth who helps make these happen. Because it's a task to get all these scheduled and get them on the air, and man, and I can't imagine how many applications we have. So if you add up all of the people who became debt-free in a year who didn't get to share their story, I guarantee you it'd be closer to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Everyone that follows
it'd be billions and billions.
That's incredible.
And billions and billions and billions.
That's why we do this. It's inspiring.
$1 billion's like 1,000 million.
Yeah. That's good math.
Pretty amazing. Tyler is in Columbia, South Carolina. Hey, Tyler, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
So I have a question. I recently got a new job, and my fiance, we live together, recently got engaged, and I make about $90 a year, and she is doing a paid externship, and she makes about $12 a year, and she'll graduate in May doing full-time respiratory therapy at the hospital.
When will you get married?
November 19th, 2022 is the date.
Okay. So this coming November, okay.
Yes, sir. And my question is, I've recently been introduced to you, and I've got $1,000 in savings, and I've got about $16,000 in credit card debt total. And I just in May bought a brand new truck. So I'm wondering, I've got an offer for the truck from one of the online dealerships, Vroom. They're willing to give me $43,000, and I owe $45,000 on the truck. I can make the payment on the truck and still have money left over to throw at the compounding debt ball. But I'm wondering, should I keep the truck and just blast the debt like normal, smallest to largest, or should I let Vroom take it and then drive an old beater that I have at my apartment? It's a 99 F-150.
You have two cars?
He has a 99 F-150.
I have a 99 F-150 with about 200,000. It needs about $1,000 worth of work.
I love that truck.
But I wouldn't have the payment on the new Tacoma.
How old are you? 23?
I'm 26. She's 22.
Okay.
How much do you make a year?
90.
I make 90 now, starting out.
Yeah. If I woke up in your shoes, sir, I would sell this truck in a heartbeat.
Okay, so sell the truck.
And I would cry when I sold it because it's a sweet truck.
It is. I love it. It's my dream truck.
Man, you know what? It's a freaking nightmare, though. It's not a dream.
It is.
Because here's the thing. You found what you really love, and you're marrying her.
Yes.
And it ain't trucks.
Yes, sir.
And the fact that you guys are going to work together, both of you are going to have a $200,000 a year income in 3 years, and you have no debt, and you'll be able to save up and buy whatever you want to buy in cash because you made this move. And so this is a move for your future. It's not a move for your present. But, yeah, I would sell it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Cash flow that wedding, get out of debt, and start your marriage off right, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. And never, 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 never borrow on a vehicle again if you want to be wealthy. Wealthy people just don't do that. But you're a sharp young dude, and that's good. I'm going to cry when I sell it, though, because it's sweet. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to TheRamseyShow.com.